Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So look, it's week 4 and the Jets are going to be taking on the Tennessee Titans at home, MetLife Stadium, 1 o'clock kickoff, and the Titans are 2-1. The Titans are riding a 2-game win streak right now. They lost, pretty brutal loss week 1 against the Cardinals. Pretty tough stretch of games too, by the way. Anyway, they bounced back in week 2 in Seattle, one of the best games of the season. Even, a week removed from that game, it's still one of the top games. I mean, they went out there, they handled business. What a great W for Tennessee. Week 3, they beat their division rival, the Indianapolis Colts, and overall, I mean, really, it's no secret how the Tennessee Titans play football, where their strengths lie. This is a team that has tons of talent on both sides of the football here. I mean, offensively, the list goes on and on. Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Saffold, Lewan, Ben Jones, Tannehill, and then, of course, King Derrick Henry himself, and we're going to talk about him in just a second. But then defensively, they don't miss a beat. Harold Landry, Bud Dupree, Evans, Simmons, Byard. I love their cornerback room as well. They actually have 2 guys that I really wanted the Jets to draft in back-to-back years. It was Christian Fulton from LSU, and then of course Caleb Farley this past draft. But they also have Janoris Jenkins as well, like a nice veteran defensive leader. This team has enough talent to go deep into the playoffs, so the New York Jets have to be prepared. The New York Jets have been a complete train wreck, especially offensively. I mean, we have literally looked like the 32nd worst offense in football. It's that bad. It is that bad, the bottom of the barrel, so we have to shake things up. But we do have an injury update, 2 injury updates that could play a massive role in this matchup, and it's to 2 offensive pieces that we just talked about, Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. Jones has accounted for 12 receptions for 204 yards. A.J. Brown, on the other hand, has had 7 receptions for 92 yards with a receiving touchdown. Okay, so these guys are legit. These guys are 2 of the best wide receivers in the league. If both of these guys are out, it's not 100% guaranteed that they will be out, but they are dealing with lower body injuries. A.J. Brown's dealing with a hamstring, and I think with Julio, it's just labeled as leg injury. If both of these guys are out, the Jets defense could catch a major break. But here's the deal. The Tennessee Titans run the football, and they do it really well. King Henry possesses that nickname for a reason. I mean, they're top 5 in rushes per game, rushing yards per game, and they're 6th in rushing touchdowns per game. Okay, so this Titans offense, they run the ball, they do it well, they have enough talent, not only just with the running back position, but with the offensive line as well. They get such a great push, just a downhill thumping power run game. At the end of the day, the Titans will bully their opponents, and they don't get penalized as well. That's another thing that I feel like is an underrated topic with this Titans offense. They don't beat themselves as far as penalties are concerned. So let's switch it up and talk about how this Jets defense can have success against this Titans offense. And, even though the Jets are 0-3, we've gotten blown out a couple times, specifically against the Patriots and the Broncos. The defense hasn't really been the problem. Of course, they've had a couple issues here and there. There's been a couple blown coverages, a couple mistakes. We have a lot of youth out there, tons of injuries, but I'm not really too concerned about the overall defensive performance in the first 3 weeks. I've actually thought they've looked pretty good, all things considered. Taking into consideration every circumstance here, I'm not too worried about the defense. Now, as far as this game is concerned, I think the first thing that should go unsaid, trying your best to stop the run, trying your best to neutralize Derrick Henry. How do you do that? You bring a guy down in the box. Also, another thing to note, even though Derrick Henry is considered, this downhill thumping running back, just this thunderous, monstrous back, he can still hurt you in the pass game, right? Derrick Henry as a receiver can make some noise. He can do some damage. So covering the flats, I feel like, is also necessary, but here's the main idea. Here's the main point. If the Jets are so focused on stopping the run and we can have success on 1st and 2nd down, assuming guys like A.J. Brown and Julio Jones don't play, all of a sudden, Ryan Tannehill can be in obvious passing situations, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, with guys like Chester Rogers and Cam Batson. So really, the name of the game here, win on the early downs and force Ryan Tannehill to beat you with a depleted wide receiver depth chart. I feel like that defensively can have major success for the Jets. Now, this Jets team, of course, is really young. We have a ton of injuries like we alluded to before, but I really feel like if we can get Ryan Tannehill into those uncomfortable 3rd and long situations where he has to trust Chester Rogers in a one-on-one matchup, that's not only where I just feel like the Jets defense can shine, but where they can have some crucial stops as well. So when we take a look at this Jets offense, I mean, it's been a travesty so far. It's been a complete embarrassment. So going up against this talented Tennessee Titans defense will be a major, major test for everybody involved. Zach Wilson, the coaching staff, Mike LaFleur. It's going to be a huge test. And I really feel like the main goal, the main idea on offense is to get Zach Wilson in rhythm, comfortable early on. This is something that we just don't do. We didn't do it against the Panthers. We didn't do it against the Patriots. We didn't do it against the Broncos. Everything is forced. Everything is way too aggressive. It's resulted in turnovers, incompletions, punts left and right, constant 3-and-outs, overall confusion, overall incompetence. The Jets offense needs to get back to the roots of the West Coast system, get back to the basics, utilize the short passing attack, run the ball effectively. Those two keys, those two offensive ideas need to be in play here. In order to get our rookie quarterback starting in his 4th NFL game comfortable, the ball needs to be leaving Zach Wilson's hands immediately. 1.5 to 2 seconds from the snap. I mean, that's just something that we don't do. I don't know why we don't do it. We have the playmakers to do it. Zach Wilson has the quick release. He is accurate in the short passing game. At least he was back at not Baylor, but BYU. Was getting confused with Jeff Grimes here, his offensive coordinator. But look, we have to utilize the short passing attack. Elijah Moore, let's get him the football early. Michael Carter, 4th-round pick out of North Carolina, really effective with the ball in his hands. Let's get him the football in the flat and watch him go to work. Running back screens, checkdowns. Michael Carter is very elusive. One huge addition that the Jets offense should have back. It's not 100% locked in, but the Jets coaching staff is actually expecting this to happen. Wide receiver Jamison Crowder. Now, Crowder is a proven NFL player. This guy has dominated in the short passing game. He can separate. He can go up against top corners in this league, top slot corners rather, and have success. So I really look for Jamison Crowder to have a big day. At least I want to get him targets. I want to get the football going in Crowder's direction. Another player that I want to see out there is wide receiver Denzel Mims. Look, no more excuses. I'm sick and tired of seeing Denzel Mims as a healthy scratch every single week. He was productive at Baylor. He had a great collegiate career. He had a solid rookie season given the circumstances. He has all of the physical measurables to be successful: height, speed, hands, vert. He could be effective in the red zone, over the middle of the field in play action, an underrated part of Denzel Mims' game. He's a constant playmaker. Every single time his number is called, he steps up and makes a play. He was one of the only bright spots during the Adam Gase tenure, right? Last season's offense, one of the worst offenses in the league, but none of that was due to Denzel Mims lagging behind. You know, he missed the preseason last. Denzel Mims needs to be out there. No more excuses. I'm sure special teams will be fine if Denzel Mims is on the active roster. I'm sure the slot wide receiver position will be fine because we have guys like Elijah Moore and Jamison Crowder. We need to get Mims out there, especially considering how this wide receiver group has looked in the last few weeks. I mean, in the Denver game, there was 5 to 6 drops. I counted 5 to 6 drops. One of those drops came by Braxton Berrios. It went right through his hands, led to an interception at the end of the game. Now, granted, the game was over at that point, but on the stat sheet, it doesn't affect the wide receivers. It affects Zach Wilson. He's holding onto the ball for dear life. He's getting rushed like crazy. He's being sacked. And the Tennessee Titans have the 12th ranked pass rushing unit in the league. 12th in overall sacks. Okay, and by the way, they still have not reached their full potential. Bud Dupree, we talked about Simmons before. Landry, these guys can rush the passer. These guys have the talent to get after quarterbacks. We need to make sure the football is getting out of Zach Wilson's hands quickly and effectively. I can't stress that enough. So all in all, I'm actually looking forward to this matchup. I'm really excited to watch. Really anxious to see if the Jets coaching staff will make these necessary adjustments. Please, can we make these adjustments? If we do, I feel like it'll look like a brand new team. I mean, the defense will handle their business. It's led by Saleh. It's a great scheme. We have talent. We have youth. The defense they've been producing week to week. But the offense, if we make these adjustments, I feel like we will look like it'll be a complete 180. Zach Wilson will be in rhythm. We can put up points. It'll be great. But if not, it'll just be an epic failure. Words can't describe how disappointed I'll be. I mean, for the first quarter of the season, well, really, I guess not quarter anymore because there's 17 games, but through the first 4 games, the Jets would have essentially done the same thing. Come out of the gate, trip, and fall right on their face. I mean, that's been the case in every single matchup. Panthers, Patriots, Broncos, every single week is the same. Come out of the gate 3 and out, or a turnover, punt, 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 and it takes so long to get points on the board. Or we could take a look back at Sunday's game against the Broncos where they couldn't even score at all. So to recap, offensively, get the football out of Zach Wilson's hands quickly, feed the playmakers the football, get guys like Elijah Moore involved, Michael Carter, Jamison Crowder, and Denzel Mims. Get these guys the football early within the play. And then defensively, try to stop the run, right? Load the box, force Tennessee to get in these third and long situations, obvious passing situations where all of a sudden Tannehill is leaning on guys like Chester Rogers and whatnot on one-on-one matchups on the outside to make plays. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I can't wait to watch. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving into the comment section, kind of seeing everybody's takes. What do you think the Jets can do to have success? What do you want to see from this New York Jets team? And also for the Titans fans out there, what are you expecting as well? So thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.